Alright, I need something else for my pegboard. I need a holder to hold both a screwdriver and this pair of tweezers that I use all the freaking time. So, like normal, we're going to start on the top. I'm going to do a sketch. Start with just a rectangle, I think is all I'm going to do. And so I need a rectangular hole that these will slide into, and the rectangular hole will have a bottom. And I think I'm just going to do a large hole for this that goes through that does not have a bottom. So for this guy we need like 20 millimeters by 15 millimeters and like 60 millimeters deep. So before I do that, we're going to do modify, change parameters. We're going to add our user parameters in here. Screwdriver, hole size. And that is, if I do 20 millimeters, it won't be able to fit through, which is fine because I want it to stop on that. But I think that's going to be really sloppy, so instead I'm just going to make it 15, which is plenty big enough. Height, looked at it a minute ago, decided 65 millimeters I think is what I want. Then we have tweezer width, 320 I think, yep, 20. And all this is a very loose fit. And then we have tweezer depth, which is 15. And then, of course, the good old shell thickness, which 3 millimeters, kind of my standard. So the first thing we're going to do is a rectangle. This is going to be, we want the screwdriver hole plus shell thickness times 3. That way we have the outside of the hole and then 2 shell thicknesses for the margin between the tweezer and the screwdriver. So plus shell thickness times 3. And then we have the tweezer width, and we need a shell thickness on the other side of that. So that should do it for us. And this should be tweezer depth plus shell thickness times 2. And Fusion360 respects typical order of operations, so that works out great. And then I need my rectangle right here for the tweezer hole. Rectangle, 2 point. Tweezer width. Oops. This is tweezer depth. Tweezer width. This is shell thickness. This is shell thickness. Then I'm going to add a construction line so I can put a point for our hole. There's so many different ways to put a hole in here, but just to keep it simple, I'm just going to do a construction line. So from there to there, let's say that was a construction line. And the distance from here to here should be screwdriver hole size divided by 2 plus shell thickness. Bingo. And then we're going to do another construction line. And this one is going to be from the midpoint to the midpoint. You can tell it's the midpoint because it's got the little triangle. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a circle instead of a hole. So screwdriver hole size. Bingo. And this needs to not be a construction line. Cool. Okay. So now we got everything laid out. Maybe finish sketch, E for extrude. I want this to come up, height, okay. Then E for extrude again, make the sketch visible, and I already broke the cardinal rule of components. Always do that. Oh well. Negative shell thickness, except we don't actually want that, and now we have a hole that works great. Now, I would like these corners to look much better. I want them to go around the screwdriver hole. So the radius should be shell thickness plus half of hole diameter. So shell thickness plus hole size divided by 2. Bingo. That looks so much better. Now we're going to come over here, add the quick chamfer on these. That looks good. 1mm works great. Fillet, not the chamfer. Fillet. I want a bigger fillet up here because that makes it easier for you to get what you want in there. I'm a little worried that the screwdriver hole is so close to the tweezer hole. If I were doing this over again from scratch, I would create a new parameter called spacing between the hole and the two holes. And then I'd be able to make that bigger, but for now this is going to be fine. It's good enough. So now, just like all the others, we come to the back, we create a sketch. We add a point onto the sketch. Click on Look At to square it all up. This being 5mm works really good. Create another point. The distance between these needs to be, looks like 1 inch is going to be our magic number. And that actually looks like decent spacing. Because of the fillet, it's a little hard to get further over, but you know, that's okay. So now we're going to insert, this is where I screwed up, and I need separate bodies. I think it's too late to do this, but let's see if we can. From bodies, select that. Okay. Hot dang. Now we have a component. So now we can come up here and do insert, insert derive, save and continue, tweezer, and screwdriver, save. Cancel, let it save, insert, insert derive. This is what I want. Okay. Assemble joint, that's why we created these points earlier. Run. We want to be on this component, symbol joint. Come on, I created you. You should be there. Oh, because the sketch isn't part of the component. Please let us do this. Sweet. Symbol joint. Bingo. Spin this guy around. Actually, you know what? I'm going to copy this guy before I move copy. Move copy. Create copy. Move it left. Okay. Now let's try making these joints. Ching. Ching. Moves them together. I don't know why. Probably because they're in the same component is my guess. So I come back here to this move copy and edit it. Nope. I'm just going to manually place this. It's going to be a whole number because Fusion likes to keep things whole. 2.54, so I think it's 4. There we go. All right, there we have it. No idea why this moved away from the sketch. It's a pain.